Discover the hidden truths behind 7 of the most popular myths we've all heard. From ancient tales to modern-day beliefs, get ready to uncover surprising facts that challenge what we thought we knew. Join us as we debunk these myths and reveal the fascinating realities behind them. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. Truth or myth? We've all heard the warning, stop cracking your knuckles or you'll get arthritis. This claim has been passed down for decades, but is there any truth to it? Let's crack open the facts and uncover the truth behind this widespread myth. The sound of knuckle cracking is caused by the release of gas bubbles in the synovial fluid, a lubricant within your joints. This act creates a popping sound, which many find oddly satisfying. Despite the common belief, studies show that cracking your knuckles does not increase the risk of developing arthritis. One of the most famous investigations into this myth was conducted by Dr. Donald Unger, a medical researcher. For 60 years, Dr. Unger cracked the knuckles on his left hand daily while leaving his right hand untouched. After decades of this experiment, he found no signs of arthritis in either hand. His work earned him the Ig Nobel Prize in 2009, highlighting the absurdity of this long-held belief. A study published in the Journal of the American Board of Family Medicine in 2011 further confirmed these findings. Researchers analyzed individuals who habitually cracked their knuckles and found no significant link between the habit and arthritis development. However, excessive knuckle cracking might not be entirely harmless. It can lead to reduced grip strength or mild swelling in some cases. But rest assured, cracking your knuckles occasionally is unlikely to harm your joints. So, the next time someone scolds you for cracking your knuckles, you can confidently share the science. It's not arthritis you need to worry about. We only use 10% of our brain. What science really says. The idea that humans use only 10% of their brains is one of the most enduring myths of modern times. Popularized in the early 20th century, this misconception has been perpetuated by movies, books, and even motivational speakers. But what's the truth behind this claim? The myth's origins are murky, but some historians trace it back to psychologist William James in 1890, who suggested that most people fail to realize their full mental potential. This idea was later misinterpreted and turned into the 10% myth. The concept gained traction in 1936 when journalist Lowell Thomas quoted James, albeit inaccurately, in his preface to the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Modern neuroscience has thoroughly debunked this myth. Research, including brain imaging studies like fMRI and PET scans, shows that humans use nearly 100% of their brain throughout the day, even while resting. Different regions of the brain have specialized functions, from controlling movement and memory to managing emotions and creativity. No part of the brain is truly silent. This myth persists because it's enticing. It suggests untapped potential, but the reality is even more fascinating. The brain's complexity is incredible, with 86 billion neurons working together in intricate networks. Instead of being limited to 10%, humans already operate at astonishing mental capacity. So, the next time someone mentions the 10% myth, you can confidently debunk it with science. Bats are blind, unveiling their surprising superpower. For centuries, the saying "bats are blind" has been widely believed. But is it true? Surprisingly, this common myth couldn't be further from the truth. Let's dive into the fascinating world of bats and uncover the reality behind their remarkable abilities. Bats, scientifically known as Chiroptera, are among the most diverse mammals, with over 1,400 species found worldwide. While it's true that bats rely heavily on echolocation, a biological sonar system, they are far from blind. Most bats have well-developed eyes and can see quite well, particularly in low light. In fact, some species, like the fruit bat, commonly found in Africa and Asia, rely more on their vision than on echolocation to navigate and find food. The myth likely originated from the nocturnal habits of bats. Since they are active at night, many assumed they couldn't see in the dark. However, their eyes are specially adapted to dim light, and some species, such as the Mexican free-tailed bat, can even detect ultraviolet light. This keen sense of vision complements their echolocation, making them masters of the night sky. The real wonder lies in their echolocation abilities. Bats emit high-frequency sounds, sometimes reaching up to 120,000 hertz, and listen to the returning echoes to locate objects with pinpoint accuracy. This allows them to hunt insects, often consuming over 1,000 mosquitoes in a single hour. In 1938, research by Dr. Donald Griffin, a renowned zoologist, proved the connection between bats and echolocation. His work debunked the blind bat myth and highlighted their sensory brilliance. Next time you hear the phrase blind as a bat, remember it's not only wrong, it's a disservice to these extraordinary creatures who see and hear in ways humans can only dream of. The Great Wall of China is visible from space, fact or fiction. For decades, the Great Wall of China has been a symbol of engineering marvel and cultural pride. Built over centuries, starting as early as 770 BC during the Zhou dynasty, the wall stretches over 13,000 miles and is often regarded as one of the greatest wonders of the world. But is it true that this iconic structure is visible from space? The myth gained widespread popularity when Richard Halliburton, a travel writer, claimed in his 1938 book that the wall could be seen from the moon. This claim, though exciting, was not based on any scientific evidence. In fact, astronauts and scientists have since debunked this myth. According to NASA, even from low Earth orbit, the Great Wall of China is not easily distinguishable to the naked eye. The wall's material, primarily stone and earth, blends with the natural terrain, making it incredibly difficult to spot. It's comparable to spotting a hair on a rug from across the room. Astronaut Yang Liwei, China's first person in space in 2003, confirmed that he couldn't see the wall from orbit either. The confusion may arise from the idea that large man-made structures are inherently visible from space. However, urban areas with sprawling lights like Las Vegas or Shanghai are far easier to spot from above. So, while the Great Wall remains an unparalleled feat of human ingenuity, the claim that it's visible from space is more fiction than fact. It's a reminder that myths often outshine the truth, but the truth is just as fascinating. Goldfish have a 3-second memory, shocking discoveries. For decades, goldfish have been the poster child for short attention spans. The idea that these aquatic creatures have a memory span of only 3 seconds has been passed around as fact. But what if we told you this belief is nothing more than a myth? Let's dive deep into the fascinating world of goldfish to uncover the surprising truth about their memory and intelligence. The 3-second memory myth gained popularity in the early 20th century. It likely began as a way to explain the seemingly repetitive behavior of goldfish, like swimming in circles or returning to the same spots in their tanks. Over time, this misconception became so widely accepted that it influenced pop culture, cartoons, and even education. But where did this myth truly come from? There's no scientific study to back up the claim. Instead, it appears to have been born out of casual observation and lack of understanding of goldfish behavior. In 2003, a groundbreaking study by Dr. Phil G. at Plymouth University shattered the myth. The research demonstrated that goldfish could remember events for up to 3 months, a far cry from the rumored 3 seconds. Using simple training techniques, scientists taught goldfish to associate specific times of day with food. They would press a lever when they were hungry, showing they could not only recall the action but also recognize patterns. Further research by Dr. Trevor Hamilton in 2014 revealed that goldfish could navigate mazes and remember the correct paths for weeks. The studies confirmed that goldfish possess a level of cognitive ability much more advanced than previously believed. Goldfish have demonstrated the ability to solve problems, recognize their owners, and even differentiate between shapes and colors. In one experiment, researchers used red and blue markers to test a goldfish recognition skills. The fish consistently responded to the correct color associated with food, proving their capacity for learning and memory. Fun fact: goldfish can even be taught tricks, such as swimming through hoops or playing mini soccer. This suggests they are capable of associative learning, which is a key indicator of intelligence. Like humans, goldfish are influenced by their surroundings. An enriched environment with objects like plants, pebbles, and tank decorations can enhance their memory and overall cognitive abilities. In contrast, a barren environment may limit their mental stimulation. This finding has led many goldfish owners to rethink how they set up their tanks. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. Reality check. When we hear the phrase lightning never strikes the same place twice, it feels comforting, a sign that nature spares us from repeated disasters. But is this really true? Let's explore the facts that shed light on this electrifying myth. Lightning, a natural phenomenon caused by an imbalance between the atmosphere and the ground, strikes Earth approximately 8 million times a day. That's around 100 strikes every second globally. With such frequency, the idea that it avoids previously struck spots sounds improbable. One of the most famous locations defying this myth is the Empire State Building in New York City. Standing at 1,454 feet tall, this iconic structure is hit by lightning an average of 25 times a year. In fact, during storms, it can be struck multiple times in just one night. Similarly, tall structures like radio towers and skyscrapers are prime targets for repeated strikes. A noteworthy example is Roy Sullivan, a U.S. park ranger, dubbed the human lightning rod. Between 1942 and 1977, he survived being struck by lightning 7 times, a feat recognized by the Guinness World Records. His story not only defies the myth but also highlights how lightning can and does strike the same place or person repeatedly. The reality is that lightning follows the path of least resistance, often targeting taller objects or conductive materials. So, the next time you hear someone say it never strikes twice, remember these astonishing facts and the electrifying truth. You swallow spiders in your sleep. The creepy truth exposed. For years, people have claimed that the average person swallows 8 spiders a year in their sleep. This myth has haunted arachnophobes and fueled countless debates. But is it true? Let's dive into the origins of this claim and uncover the truth. This myth is thought to have originated in the 1990s when a writer, Lisa Holst, published an article highlighting the gullibility of internet users. Ironically, the fictional spider swallowing fact itself became one of the internet's most enduring urban legends. The idea of swallowing spiders sounds plausible to many, but let's consider the behavior of both spiders and sleeping humans. Spiders are naturally inclined to avoid humans. Their instincts tell them to steer clear of large, moving objects, especially those that emit heat and vibrations, both characteristics of a sleeping person. It's highly unlikely that a spider would crawl near your mouth, let alone into it. Furthermore, scientists like Rod Crawford, a spider expert at the Burke Museum, have debunked this myth. Crawford explained that no credible study or evidence supports the claim. In fact, he emphasizes that spiders are more interested in hunting small insects than venturing onto your bed. So, can you rest easy? Absolutely. The myth of swallowing spiders while you sleep is nothing more than an unsettling tale spun from misinformation. The next time you hear someone share this fact, you'll know the truth. Spiders aren't making nightly visits to your mouth. Sweet dreams.